Everything You Thought We'd Forgotten is an exhibition of work by Jason E. Lewis and his research studio OBX Labs. The show spans 8 years of research creation in the domain of interactive, dynamic, and performative text and typography, and includes works engaged in a variety of thematic and conceptual issues. 7 interactive installations invite the user to speak, to touch, to move, to watch, and most of all, to look and read. Everything You Thought We'd Forgotten was first mounted at Oberon Gallery in Montreal, Quebec in the winter of 2007. If the text of our conversations had a visual materiality? And what if that visualization changed depending on how we spoke to one another? Interlocutor engages these questions in the form of an interactive installation with 2 participants speaking to one another. Their silhouettes are projected onto a wall behind them. As they begin speaking, the speech of person A becomes visible, moves from person A's mouth, and interacts with person B's silhouette. The appearance of the words respond to the speech qualities. For instance, words said with stress appear elongated and shaky. Words said with a heightened volume expand. Words said with a quickened rhythm come out crowded together. The installation encourages people to play around with the emotional qualities of their speech, as well as with the effect that their words have on each other's bodies. On a large touch screen, measuring approximately 2 by 3 feet, you see ghostly clusters of letters that silently beckon to you. When your finger touches the screen and you trace a line, the ghostly letters snap into focus and align themselves into words and phrases. What they speak when they speak to me is a poem, the one that is impossible to read in the normal manner. It is about an experience I often have while traveling, where people assume that I am one of them, and they start speaking to me in their own language. What they speak when they speak to me is written to reflect the resulting conversation, comprised of dashed expectations, broken phrases, and half-understood comments. CitySpeak is ephemeral graffiti, an exploration into using private modes of communication to drive transient public displays of commentary about a particular location or event. It is a system that allows people to send text messages to large-scale public video displays. Users send messages using SMS text on their cell phone or using a wireless personal digital assistant or laptop. Incoming text is displayed on the foreground and color-coded to individual senders. It is then sucked into the background, where it joins previous messages to form a conversational history. I Know What You're Thinking is a found poetry processor that reanimates the bored and restless texts residing on your hard drive. I Know What You're Thinking is your computer speaking to you, retelling all the stories that you have told it, chopping them up, splicing the bits into something new, something you never imagined. I Know What You're Thinking trolls the host machine's hard drives for all the plain text documents, Word documents, email files, chat histories, and browser cookies it can find. It then writes random chunks of text from these various files to the screen. One moment it's dredging up a 5-year-old email, the next a 10-year-old term paper, and the next a 15-year-old love letter. Each of the 5 streams has its own particular appearance, size, and duration, creating a motion collage of different layers of semi-transparent text, exposing your history one forgotten sentence at a time. The soft sketches are poster works in the mode of extreme concrete poetry. Using a custom written application called Mr. Softy, we write texts and then manipulate their visual appearance. The goal is to create a visual reflection of the linguistic content. Imagine that you have a spray can that, instead of containing paint, is full of text. As you spray the text, you can manipulate the size, color, and font. You can also add dynamic and interactive behaviors that deform the letter forms or make the words all flock around the mouse or explode entire sentences. The result oscillates between text and graphic, creating an experience that is at times reading, at times looking, and at times both. TextOrgan also allows you to save favorite compositions as single frames that are automatically uploaded to a public site where they can be later retrieved. We live many lives, perhaps more than a cat, perhaps less. As we live them forward through time, they fade one into another with few noticeable boundaries. Yet, as we look back, we sometimes see demarcations, shifts in place, shifts in community, shifts in attitude that seem startling in their hindsighted clarity. 9 is a dynamic poem presenting images from my life, constantly shifting in and out of focus, in tension with, and making something of a mockery of, the clean, linear story told by the text which winds through them. The text deals with the artist's creation story, how a Cherokee woman and an island man produced a brown baby who was then raised by white folks.